Mic check, mic check. What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Hip Hop Snapshots. I'm your host, Ross Martinez, and today we're telling the story of how hip hop went from community cipher to corporate product, from a megaphone for the people to a marketing tool for the machine. But don't get it twisted, this ain't a eulogy. I will be talking about the timeline of the takeover, but how at every pivotal point where the culture seemed to be diluted and watered down, the community and the voices of the people of hip hop were the counterweight and proved that hip hop would never go down without a fight. So grab a milk crate, take a seat. It's time to talk hip hop history. Let's go all the way back to the 1970s in the South Bronx. Blackouts, poverty, abandoned buildings, and yet here came a spark in the darkness. Turntables in the park, breakbeats, rhymes, graffiti. Hip-hop wasn't built for profit. It was built for release. To speak when nobody else would listen. It was ours. It was the community. But as its power grew, so did the interest of outsiders. Enter Sugarhill Records. The Sugarhill Gang drops a song called Rapper's Delight, a smash hit that puts hip-hop on the mainstream for America, aka the ones in gated communities. But hold up, Big Bank Hank of Sugarhill Gang used Grandmaster Caz's lyrics without credit. It's the first time hip-hop goes commercial, but at the same time, the first time a voice was stolen for profit. And the message behind this was there's money in this, and ownership means everything. The 80s and early 90s is when Yo MTV Raps kicks doors down and introduces everyone to NWA, Public Enemy, Rakim, Queen Latifah, Tupac, and many more. It felt authentic, unfiltered. It felt like hip-hop, but slowly the suits came a-knocking as they always do. Labels realized what was profitable wasn't always what was powerful. Soon, the artists with the hardest truths got less airtime, and the artists who could move product, they got the spotlight. Cue the beginning of the split of hip hop and rap. Rappers made money, MCs moved the crowd. But the crowd was being marketed to, not led, unfortunately. In comes MC Hammer. Big budget, big moves, big sales. I respect the hustle. MC Hammer is a perfect blueprint of success. But understand what it triggered in the culture. His pop-friendly image made hip-hop safe for the suburbs, and suddenly authenticity became a risk. Marketing departments wanted dancers, not danger, hooks over bars, clean over real. The machine had tasted profit, and boy, did it like it. But the communities weren't silent. We got raucous records. They gave us Mos Def, Talib Kweli, Pharoah Monch. They pushed conscious lyricism when radio said, it didn't fit our target demographic. Commons like Water for Chocolate, amazing album. The Roots, Things Fall Apart. Dead Presidents, Let's Get Free. They reminded us that the culture is still ours. But the push was uphill and it was steep. Corporate hip-hop kept shifting toward simplified narratives, violence, hypersexuality, and luxury. The various stereotypes we once fought became the selling points for the community. Now let's talk the 2000s. Billboard metrics hit a big shift. Radio airplay starts dominating the charts. Program directors stop asking what's dope. They start asking, will this test with our target demo? And that demo usually is 25 to 44-year-old white women in the suburbs. Why? Because she listens longer, doesn't skip ads, and spends money. It's a business move. Suddenly, Smith & Wesson gets no spin, but Flow Rider stays in heavy rotation. The culture is trimmed, filtered, and branded as urban, a word that makes executives comfortable while gutting the roots of the very culture that they're profiting on. And let's not forget 2014. The Grammys in 2014. Good Kid, Mad City versus The Heist. Kendrick Lamar versus Macklemore. And guess who won? The industry's loudest moment of we choose safe over soul. That night became a meme, but it should have been a memo. This game ain't about skill, it's about fit, about marketability, about who makes gatekeepers feel secure in the seat they choose to sit in. Streaming gave us hope, kind of. But with Spotify editorial gatekeepers, playlist pitching fees, and TikTok fueled trends, it's just payola in a different suit. And who thrives? The labels with budgets, the influence with reach, the artists who play nice. Meanwhile, artists like LaRussell, Coda, and other indie giants work twice as hard for half the exposure. But they do it on their own terms. It's a long uphill battle, but you can see they're successful independently. Now, look, it's easy to feel like hip hop's been hijacked. As a hip hop head, or those who grew up with boom bap and understanding KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions, Cold Crush Brothers, and the list goes on, the branding, the streaming, the playlists built by suits who couldn't name 3 tracks off Illmatic without Googling it are the ones in control. But don't get it twisted. The culture never just laid down and said, okay, fine, let's get commodified. Because with every commercial move, hip hop always responded. When the charts started favoring party rap over poetry, Black Thought spit a 10-minute freestyle off the top of the head on Flex's radio show. When the radio locked in on algorithm-friendly vibes, Griselda brought back boom bap hip-hop to the community with no apology. When TikTok turned verses into background noise, Rapsody, No Name, and Little Sims dropped full meals in a world that was used to fast food. And then came Kendrick in 2024, stepping into the biggest mainstream rap beef of this era and flipping it into a cultural referendum. Not just bars, not just disrespect. He asked us, what are we even celebrating anymore when it comes to hip hop? But let's be honest, he ain't the only one or the messiah. There's been a lot of individuals to fight for hip hop. J. Cole gave us Middle Child and the Fall Off. JID's lyricism is surgical. IDK, Denzel Curry, Tara Wack, Lupe is teaching at Johns Hopkins University. LaRussell built an empire out of his backyard and gave ownership to his fans. Even indie cats like Coda are moving units and minds without a cosign in sight or the backing of the machine. This ain't nostalgia. This is a rebellion. This is proof that even when the industry trims the culture to fit a commercial box, hip-hop still finds a way to spill out the sides. So when we say it's time to take the culture back, it ain't just romanticizing a moment that is no longer here, that is fleeting. Bro, it's already happening. You just gotta listen beyond the playlist they give you. So let's end today's snapshot like this. What does it mean when rebellion becomes a product? When culture is curated not by the people, but for them by an outsider? And when the sound of the streets gets polished, packaged, and sold back with a receipt, is that even hip-hop anymore? Or is that just good branding and marketing? Because the rise of commodity culture didn't happen overnight. It was slow, strategic, and sanitized. And yet, hip-hop is still here fighting the fight. The microphone ain't lost. It's just waiting for the next one to pick it up and fight back. All right, without further ado, that's been another episode of Hip Hop Snapshots. I'm your host, Ross Martinez, and this has been a 5-episode arc of the dirty laundry behind the microphone. And whenever you hear somebody saying that hip hop is dead, it ain't. Unfortunately, it's just not in your algorithm. And you know what you have to do on that? Dig through crates. Question everything that's given to you. You smart. You passionate. Now all you got to do is be, you guessed it, hip hop. I'm out. Peace.